Welcome back. Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? It has been a crazy week. So apparently y'all liked the deck tech. Easily most view video. That was really cool. I'm glad so many of y'all enjoyed it, and I'm glad that the deck is doing so well. So over the last week, a couple of people have reached out to me, just to put proofs in the pudding. Deck list is real. Hey, what's up, Pink Robin? It's funny that you're in here. So I was just about to say, at least 3 different people have contacted me about taking the list to an event and actually winning said event. So Pink Robin, Exist, Drax, y'all killed it. Y'all took down your skirmish with the list that we saw in last week's stream, which I'll be playing it here tonight again. Time to learn how to beat this deck, Shamir. No. You're going to learn how to win with this deck. I don't know why you wouldn't play this deck. So yeah, those 3 actually won their skirmish with the list that we played last week and are going to play tonight. Also shout out to DaisyOdd, who said that they were inspired by my list and matched it up with a couple of other people that were in Iyslander chat in the big Discord. Also pretty cool to see Kamal and Adderflame told me that they reached the finals of their skirmishes with the list, and Doc Nelson as well was a top 8. Dark Nelson and Kamal, funnily enough, lost the mirror. So, like, what you gonna do? The list is just good. It beats itself, I guess. Didn't I run 2 nourishing? No, I've been on 1 nourishing. I can definitely see the argument for 2, but God, those hands where you draw both are just the worst because you actively have a card that just does nothing. But yeah, we can see the list here. It hasn't changed since last week. I know I was talking about potentially swapping Coronet Peak for Norrøn Hood for the mirror. I think I'm backing off of that now. I'm almost starting to question whether I want to play just Hope Merchant's Hood in the mirror. I had a couple of games over the last week where I was playing the mirror and I drew 3 reds and I was like, okay, I guess I die. And AB4 is just like kind of fine. If you leak 1 to their red arcane ice bolts and stuff, it's not the worst end of the world. But drawing 3 or 4 reds is a good way to lose the game. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Pink Robin. I think we're actually, that's like my one change I want to make in terms of how we're siding, is starting to play Hope Merchants in the mirror. But that's enough of me rambling. We're here to watch this deck in action, right? So let's go ahead and hop in Talishar. I actually had a dummy game set up to make sure that everything looks good for the stream. Game does not exist. Oh no. I'll be back in just a second. Technical difficulties. Alright, so I want to take a quick hey, what's up, Sam? I want to take a quick survey. How are we feeling about Legacy Talishar versus New Talishar? So like aesthetically New Talishar looks great, but it's new, and just because it's new, I've just been like defaulting back to Legacy Talishar. So that's why everything is still all old and ugly. Sorry, you're just gonna have to be used to it. We're playing the Arcane Spam list. Gonna jump in a public competitive Blitz game, and we're gonna have some fun. Should probably zoom out so I can actually select Hope Merchant's Hood if I need to. Dori? I think we play default into Dori. I only use Legacy, play on a Steam Deck, and the aspect ratios all mess up with the new client. Ooh, playing on the Steam Deck sounds sick. Yeah, we're just playing default into Dori. We want to go second. We'll just lay down our hand first turn. New one has a huge bug with permanents like Insidious not working. That's crazy. I actually didn't know that. Are they dropping support for Legacy soon? Jubil, whoa. Okay, I gotta pay attention to this game apparently. What is going on? Uh-huh. You taking this deck to my armory this week? Hell yeah, Hamish. Glad to hear it. Man, this hand is gas. I wish we didn't have to block, but we kind of do. Is this the tech, or is this just like... I don't give a crap that it's not Dawnblade. They're gonna fatigue us or try? I would love to see them try. AB3 and Jubil is not enough. Yeah, missing an Insidious trigger is definitely sounds game-breaking, Sergey, in the worst of ways. Hand's not great, but it's not terrible. We can turn Carpus off for now. We're just going to throw this Ice Bolt in Arsenal, and it'll be fine. Come on, give me a card to stop 2 Arcane. Nope. That's the correct choice, by the way. This hand sucks. This looks like a Crown of Providence hand for sure. Yeah, so we went to sink a card in blocks. And then, still in the defense step, we went to play the Ice Bolt, assuming we draw something good, so that they can't play 2 1-cost reactions on this Jubil. The Frostbite will lock them out before we get to the reaction step. I just want to throw away one of these Polar Blasts. That's not great either. It's fine, but it's not great. Oh no, you know what we can do? We can drop this CLF main phase. Unless they get Go again here. Main phase, what is this, magic? During our action phase. Turn 1, respectable. We're gonna take a bunch. I don't particularly think we care. We're gonna waste a card in this turn cycle, which sucks. It's fine. There's an argument to Moon here, but they have a card in hand plus a Spellbane Aegis. Is it Aegis or Aegis? That's one of those fantasy words I never actually learned how to pronounce correctly. But we're just trying to throw the Ice Bolt in Arsenal and make them cry about having to pay a lot for things with this Channel Lake out. This hand's much better. Wow. So we're going to no-block this. We don't want to turn on their Reprise. And we also don't want to give them a second Spellbane Aegis, because if we bolt now, they can burn the Aegis and then get a new one when this hits. Ooh, pitch and sink below. You love to see it. They're at 6. Still passing on reacts. They've passed. They probably have a blue in hand. I think I'm pretty content to play Bolt here. Pitch Quickening on our turn, play Bolt, Pitch Quickening, Arsenal Emeritus. It depends on if we Arsenal Quickening or Scolding based on what they pitch here. But let's see. Oh wait, no. We want this attack to resolve first. I almost did this silly thing. There we go. Now that they can't get a second Aegis. Oof, they had a double sink below hand. Is Spellfire Cloak worth 3 damage here? Probably. Nah, no shot. We want to save it for Strider's Emeritus. So I'm very interested in arsenaling this Emeritus now. Because they're going to be at 12 after this Ice Bolt. Or lower if they don't give us a blue. Yep. Look at that. Just like we drew it up. We don't block, right? If they try to kill us, we just laugh and kill them. I dare you to react. They're at 6. We're looking at going to 2. We can throw this scolding out, see if they pitch. We're gonna burn nodes here. But worst case scenario, like, we don't have to commit the red scolding. If they like have a sneaky sigil in Arsenal or something. Mostly just curious to see. Oh no, they're super dead. Well, I guess they're not like super dead. If they have Sigil of Solace, exactly, we're in for a bad time. Let's find out. Nope, didn't have it. So that was a bit risky. Didn't really have any of the like ideal hands that game, which I think is pretty interesting, but we did get there. Probably could have played tighter there. It's okay, we're warming up. It's gonna be plenty of Blitz games tonight because they're so short. I'm used to CC where I can get like, you know, a solid 4 or 5 games in a stream. This one can be hard. We want to go first. We don't want to let them quad intimidate for free. And just play the default stuff. I actually dropped 2... Oh, this is sick. I actually dropped 2 games to Rhinar at an armory last week. First one had turn 1 Blood Rush Bellows. Second one had turn 2 quad intimidate Alpha Rampage. Man, sometimes those games happen and there's just not a lot you can do about it. It's kind of a bummer. So we have an interesting decision here. We can make 3 Frostbites in Arsenal Red Aether Quickening, or we can make 2 in Arsenal Blue Aether Quickening. I'm in... Oh my god, they only brought AB2? Uh-huh. And club, not claws. Okay, well, this game just got interesting. I'm inclined to Arsenal the Blue Quickening. Because I imagine Rhinor's going to try to do something on this first turn, and we're probably going to be able to sneak in a reasonable amount of arcane damage. Yo, what's up, Xavier? Oh yeah, this is what you want to see. We're going to pitch Winterspite, Sandbed, Blizzard, just in case we got a Blizzard something crazy here. Opponent may have not realized I gave them Frostbites. Nope, there we go. Now they roll a 1. Can't see. Wait, what did they roll? A 2 was rolled. That's fine. That's an action point. Oh yeah, we get to sneak in so much damage here. This is a vanilla 6 that I don't care about. Alright, so now we know that... Now that we know they aren't going again... There's a world where we Arsenal Winter's Bite, actually. I don't think it's the correct choice, but there is a world where that happens. But we're going to throw 5 at them. Take 6. Arsenal that Emeritus. We are the aggro deck. We are the beatdown. Now I'd love them to give us that last card in their hand. Ooh, yes. That seems wrong. Our Slang Alpha Rampage is so good against us. I will happily take 6 there if it means I get to leech 3 and Rhinar does not have an arsenal. Next turn is probably our crown turn. Interesting. Yeah, I think we have to let this Intimidate happen and just see what happens. They did get the Intimidate. They have 1 card. We don't have a confirmed kill. They have 1 card. Oh, sick. We still get to crown the card we went to. We're going to try to throw away this Emeritus red. Oh man, I wish we had a blue in hand. Lost the cane when they emptied hand. Hope merchants into a 4 red hand feels good. Oh, that's the worst jam. I'm so sorry. That also is like so statistically improbable. We're on 12 reds. It's like barely more than a quarter of the deck. That's real feels bad moments. Yeah, let's try to sync. Oh, this is for 12. That's right. How about that? But they have no tricks. So we can go to 2. Draw blue, draw blue, draw blue, draw blue. Always rewarded. We're actually going to spend Spellfire Cloak here just because it's like confirmed 3 free damage. We get to throw 6 more on our turn. This game's over. Alright. Note to Rhinars. And I think they're realizing it right now. You gotta play AB2 plus AB1. If you just play Arcane Barrier 2 like this, you have to pitch in increments of 2 to stop our damage. And you don't always want to do that. Sometimes you want to throw away 1 spare red. What's up, Templar? Alright. Game's just actually over. Yep. DED dead. We will give the GG. Yeah. I think the best Rhinar loadout I've seen. Sure, we can quick rematch. Also just too good, LOL. It's pretty damn good. I think the best Rhinar loadout I've seen is Skullhorn, Nullrune gloves. I guess you're playing Barkbone strapping. Play the stupid beaten trackers against us. They're so good. And then Claw, because your Blood Rush spells turns out how you win. They have Arcane Barrier 2. So we're just trying to take some free damage. I like when both players start the game at 18. Feels pretty good. Yeah, this deck is like actually too good Templar. Now, they're going to have a full hand to do whatever they want with. I think this is one of the rare chances I went to Arsenal this Polar Blast, because we might have to block. This hand sucks. Nothing that a little Crown of Providence can't fix, though. Oh, dear. Oh, my God. They had double Blood Rush, and they discarded one to the other. Why would you not pitch it? See... Like, alright, this is just misplay, right? Pitch your second Blood Rush, and then the Bear Fangs is something you can discard, right? I don't know what their last card in hand is, obviously, but this is brutal for them, at least. Yeah, it's like actually throwing. We're gonna cycle this Polar Blast. If we don't draw into another blue. Was waiting self to cycle consideration? Definitely could have. I don't know. I definitely wanted to end with an Arsenal. No, it works because we have AB3. Yeah, I don't know. The Ice Bolt is a blue block 3, so it doesn't feel the worst to leave that in your hand. Nice. Let them have priority on the turn. Ella 168 ABC1. What? I assume that's the card Polar Blast? Oh man, are we digging into the Matrix here? What's happening? Keep taking the damage to Arsenal card. Talishar, debug, print F. Yeah, that seems about right, actually. This hand plays itself. We just send Bolt plus Moon, pitching Ice Bolt plus Emeritus, Arsenal Blue Quickening. I wonder if this is like legacy deprecation issues. I don't know. It's the first time I've noticed it. It just is different, and everyone on the internet, myself included, hates new different things. We'll get used to it eventually. It's some of the little missing functionality things that are a real issue. So they just took 2 from Moon. Okay. We are definitely going to repair after this game. Chef's kiss. Hand is perfect. No complaints. 10 out of 10. Before they get to see if they have go again, we'll make them... Interesting. Reckless Swing was the first card they played. That makes sense. They go to 9 after this turn. They should be at 12 right now. We're very happy to take 6 there, because anytime a wizard is ahead on life, it means you're just actually crushing the game. We do the thing. Any hand where I can get 11 Arcane off the turn cycle is a good hand. think about the pitch. There you go. Opponent is so far in the lethal zone that I don't really think it matters anymore because our life buffer is huge. Yep, GG. We're just gonna fling Emeritus here. And in fact, because they presented AB2, they actually can't prevent any of this damage. I'm going to take this to a skirmish on Sunday. How's the matchup against Prism? Prism matchup is surprisingly good. You want to hold your Providence to block out the first Erudition. So just 3 block from hand plus Crown of Providence. So you don't get to like aggressively sink it in that matchup. Actually, you know what? We're probably supposed to be playing Coronet against Prism, so that you can get value out of your helmet before you have to block with it. But yeah, save your helmet for the first Erudition. They generally have to pitch an entire card to play any of their cards. Their cards all have Go again, but they're only worth 6-ish damage, which is similar to Rhinar, honestly. And they have very few blues. Most of their deck is yellow. So they, unless they high roll double Erudition, they kind of just die to the Arcane race like most other heroes. A high rolling Rhinar, a dash, a boost dash that is drawing all their reds and boosting all their blues, and Kano, I think, are probably the decks I'm most afraid of. Prism is not the easiest matchup, but it's not the worst either. What do we got next? Yeah, no problems. You know what? I'm silly. I should probably do a pop-out chat so I don't have to keep looking at my monitor. If you can't tell, I've got like Talishar on the left and OBS on the right, and I keep having to like do the little side eye to see what people are saying. But turns out pop-out chat's a thing, and it can all just go on the same screen. Turtle Oldhim's a pain for a build like this. Yeah, Turtle Oldhim is a real pain, but that deck isn't real. Like it, so it just rolls over and dies to Prism. It rolls over and dies to like a Briar that can get full value out of their Channel Mount Heroic. Doesn't really beat Kano either. Like, I just don't think that's a real deck. And unless your meta is like 90% Iyslander, I don't think it's actually smart to bring Turtle Dash to a Blitz event. But yes, if someone wants to target you, they can bring Turtle Dash. You have to play the like my turn, your turn, off turn strat, where it's like intentionally arsenal something big like a Voltic Bolt, blue Voltic Bolt on your turn, then or do that is step 1. Step 2, on your turn, play a tall red like Red Ice Bolt, pitching 2 cards for Moon, you present 7. On their turn, you play the Voltic Bolt, you pitch 2 cards, you present 6. On your next turn, the third turn, you have an off turn because you've spent your whole hand, but you present, 11 to 13 damage on the turn cycle. And unless they're literally 40 blues, that leaches at least a little bit every time. So you'll slowly whittle down, and then eventually you can still hit them with the 15 turn, the Stormstrider's turn, just like anybody else. Rolls over and dies to Rhinar too. It ultra dies to Rhinar. God, Intimidate is so good against decks that want to block. That's it's the staple of Rhinars everywhere. Luckily for us, we don't really. Like, the whole deck is built around pitching or playing your entire hand. And so as long as Rhinar doesn't see those really high value blood rushes or quad intimidates, we tend to be fine. Obviously, intimidate can still be a pain sometimes. Come on, complets. I ought to not refresh the page. It's a good way to queue out right when someone joins. Ah, but I'm so tempted. Ooh, this will be fun. I actually haven't played against solitary in Blitz yet. I don't know that any of their on hits are significant to us. Inertia's a pain. Blood Rot's meh. But also, like, the best assassins have been Redline, right? So they just died Arcane. Let's see how it goes. Red Bat Shroud, spicy. Just gonna throw this out there, make them try to stop their turn before they get to do anything too crazy. Cool. That's the first turn. If we have to play this Emeritus on our turn, it's not the end of the world. Obviously not ideal. But I would rather have a red arcane spell in hand than nothing, which is why I didn't block with it there. We had to play Soul Tidings instead, which is sick. It's just one more damage. Oh, I am not going to Metacarpus this. Oh my god, our opponent brought 0 AB. How about that? I'm pretty sure I'm in the competitive Blitz queue. Well, this game is already over. Pretty sure they can't do anything to me that makes me block this turn. Wait a minute. 5, 8, 11. They're not dead this turn. That's okay. I guess if they don't have Arcane Barrier, just giving them a Frostbite right off the bat is the best thing we can be doing. What's their next trick? Surely you can do something else on this turn. Got 4 cards and 1 Frostbite. Do we care about Infiltrate? I don't think so. They're gonna hit like a blue Emeritus Scolding and not be able to do anything with it. Yeah, I'm not really interested in blocking this. Oh, are we gonna get spiked with Inertia here? That actually would be pretty annoying. Blood Rot, that's fine. That is A-okay with me. Sure, also Flicker Knife just for fun. I don't. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, they have. Oh my god, they can't snap it because it's after the reaction step. If they had snapped it there, they could have played Nourishing, and because those cards are on the chain, it still would have been online. But they get a Nourishing Emptiness with attacks in their graveyard, which hilariously does nothing for them. That's a very funny interaction. I would love to take 2 Blood Rot damage. GG's. We'll be nice. We'll let them attack once and see if we can sink a red Arcane Spell off of Crown of Providence just for funsies. Alright, this is sick. Watch this. Play Aether Hail in response. Yes. So if they didn't die here, we would actually get to load Ice Bolt into Arsenal and then also play that. Because Iyslander doesn't care about once per turn. It's just, if it's not our turn, anytime we have a blue non-attacking Arsenal, you can play it. So Codex of Blood Rot specifically, which just lets you choose to load a card, is notably not great against Iyslander. Yeah, we're in competitive Blitz queue. Just wanted to check. Hopefully, this isn't the person we just played, right? This is a different Arakni. That's a funny coincidence. Go second, I think. I don't know what they can present on turn 0 that we can't just block out. Hey, there we go. This is a much more acceptable loadout. Alright. Now it's time for the road game. Oh, it does start at 19. That's right. Please take one of these Emeritus Scoldings from me. I wasn't planning on playing it anyways. I guess that's a reasonable blue. I'll give you Ice Bolt. Because this presumably has go again. That's the turn. Nice. We just get to do the thing. Nope. We're gonna keep doing the thing. All these people playing D-Reacts and Blitz are so bold. I don't think you can in this meta, right? Because like Wizard is 2 of the top decks. I'm not comfortable having cards in my deck that are just complete bricks against some of the best heroes. I guess the argument is like, well, most versions of Iyslander are playing real attacks like E-Strike, but still, what are you going to do, sit on a sink below an Arsenal until your opponent finally draws one of their like 4 attack actions? It doesn't sit well with me. We drew the hand that does the thing, so we're just not super interested in blocking. We also can't make a Frostbite, so we'll just wait for them to play out their turn before presenting our Arcane, so that they have as little options to block it as possible. This is respectable. It feels like we're gonna get inertia here. Is there anything we can do about that? We can give Providence plus both of these Polar Blasts, not play the Quickening, and then on our turn just play Hail plus Scalding Rain. We also can hedge a little bit, right? We can block 3 with Scalding Rain. If they do inertia us, we can pitch a Polar Blast to play Blue Quickening now, and then on our turn play Hail, pitch Polar Blast. I don't love that. Kind of feels like we're gonna get snapped here, is what it feels like. Yeah, I think we want to hedge. Oh, that's right. We're orbitoclasted. Starting blocks 2 because of dagger. I forgot about that part. I'm just so used to Spider's Bite. What about gore belching, Sergey? So it's just like pitch and play. I don't know that we get more than 2 value out of this scouting on this turn cycle anyways, because they've got to pick inertia here, surely. I guess we can, like, fake him out by playing Polar Blast on our turn. Yeah, I think we just throw this. They're passing? Cool. Choosing inertia, yep. So we are going to throw our hand. Oh my. How about that? I don't feel terrible about that turn cycle. Watching our opponent pitch 2 cards to stop 2 arcane damage. I don't know, was there a different line there, chat? I didn't really see anything else to do there. Because like the inertia is super obvious. Sick. Sounds great. So it's like a block 3. Play Scalding Rain, Arsenal, Voltic Bolt, move in for the kill kind of hand. We're actually probably going to block 5, right? They have Go again here. I don't know that there's anything they could play that would compel us to block. Worst comes to worst, we give them Voltic and Providence. Sure, I'll take a Blood Rot. Oh, we're getting spiked with Frailty, that's fine. This game is over. Nope, I'll gladly take 2. Oh, this game's so over. Let's go ahead and turn on Metacarpus nodes. Sorry, I didn't realize I was getting out of frame. See them try to think of a way to survive this turn. Mode is buff power. Hidden mode, you die. What's the pink diamond on Metacarpus? So the way the rules work is technically Metacarpus triggers every time you play a card that deals arcane, Leonardo. We're gonna sync here and try to find a spare blue real fast, just for funsies. So Metacarpus technically triggers every time you play a card that deals arcane. But obviously you only want to actually use it 1 turn out of the game. So what the Talishar developers have done is they've made this little toggle. When the gem is not illuminated, it won't ask you if you want to actually pay for Metacarpus. When it is illuminated, you're telling it, hey, I want you to pause on the Metacarpus trigger because I might want to actually do that this turn. It's just a good way to, like, you can turn it off so that you don't have to deal with a million notifications every single turn on a triggered layer that technically exists, but in paper play is ignored because it's not relevant to the game state. Yep. That's Arakni number 2. We are tearing through these games. We also are on that sick undefeated train. We'll see if anyone can break the streak during this stream. Yeah, I think the purple gems exist for at least a couple of cards. You can definitely toggle it with Frostbites, which can be relevant if you have like some tricky Ice Eternal plays. I play with Warrior or only with Wizards? I mostly play Wizard. I've played a little bit of Ranger in the past. I played a little bit of Briar in the past. I was playing quite a bit of Prism for a while during the Starvo meta. Warrior, I haven't really delved into. That's not quite my thing. We want to go first so that Bravo cannot dominate us out of the game. There's an argument to play Tunic here. I don't know that the game goes 3 turns. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. Tunic is primarily there for Oldhim. We'll see what happens here. Sick. We just get to give 3 Frostbites and make our opponent cry. Drawn to a reasonable hand. It's not the best. We're going to try to sink this Scolding into something a tad better. Yeah, so here I can respond to the Frostbites because that gem is eliminated. Same with the Seismic Surge. The Seismic can be very relevant to give... This is a pretty greedy sink, but we're going to go for it. Are we rewarded? Kind of. They have 2 floating. Yeah, you can respond to Seismic at start of turn, which is huge, because it means we can Frostbite them before they can do anything and kind of cancel out that free activation. Turn's a bit awkward. We're losing 2 on this turn cycle. This might be one of those rare turns where like we play out this Scalding on our turn, we play a Scalding, we're just gonna arsenal this red Quickening and try to have a bit of an off turn next turn cycle. Okay, it wasn't a pummel, just had to check. They're passing on the turn. See if they have a blue in hand. Bit sad. Keeps them off of Arsenal, at least. So I've got a Seismic and 4 cards. There's a world where we want to throw Quickening, pitch and Scalding, Arsenal the Voltic Bolt, so we can start pushing some damage this turn. It's hard. No, I think we do want to. We're not going to get, like, these opportunities where opponent doesn't have an arsenal is probably not going to have a 4-card hand. Oh, wow. Are they trying to fatigue? Absolutely not. Not going to allow that. Yeah, so if our opponent is trying to fatigue, we're actually going to block here. We're not sending this Voltic. And on our turn, we send Ice Bolt for 7, Voltic for 6 on their next turn. We're going to settle in for a little bit of a grindy game here. This leaks 1. Whoa, this is full fatigue Bravo. Jesus. Okay, well, we will definitely sneak some damage in next turn. Why would you not just play Oldhim if you're doing this turtley of a deck? What do you think about the current state of the meta where mages are dominating Blitz? What in your opinion should be tweaked to make it more balanced? They gotta ban this card. It's too good. It is way, way, way too good in Blitz. I really would have loved 2 blues here. This is not ideal. This Channelite Frigid isn't doing anything for us. Our opponent is wide open, so we can sneak in 7 damage here. They can block 5 on the Nourishing. Seems unideal. But if you ban the boots, wouldn't it be death of mages? So I think Iyslander is LLing this season anyways. And Kano is not nearly as good without Stormstriders, but it's not like he's unplayable. He's quite reasonable. I have no idea why they would attack here. They had the spare blue in hand. This just opens them up to a lot of damage. Let's see. We can like throw Quickening plus Moon. They've got AB4, so they just give us 2 blues. The alternative is presenting Nourishing here, arsenaling the Quickening. Kinda like that more. This is guaranteed to hit. So we'll have plenty of cards to block with next turn. Have probably a card to block with next turn. They're passing, so they have a D-React? No, they're fascinating. They've got some big dominated crippling crush or something. This could be very bad. Pummeled Spinal? This has got to be Pummeled Spinal, right? Definitely giving 2 cards. 13 minus 6. We live. We discard this blue hail, this red hail. Yeah, the most this can ever be is 14 here. So we'll live at 3. And we'll be able to play a red spell in our turn. And Arsenal Blue Hail. Called it. Opponent's tapped out. Oh god, I would kill to have a blue in Arsenal right now. In my LGS here in Brazil, 1 Kano destroys the armories. Any tips to play against him? Play Prism. Play Herald Prism. Makes Kano real sad. Real sad. But yeah, aside from the meme of just like play Prism, man, I'm not a Kano master by any means, so I'm not really one to give advice. I highly recommend learning at least a little bit to play Kano yourself, because there's a lot of... It's very easy to just say, oh, I can die at any... Okay, well, this game's over. Speaking of I can die at any time, this Bravo is dying at any time. It's very easy when you play against Kano and lose against Kano a lot to just say, well, he can just kill me whenever. But there are like specific play patterns you can look for in terms of like, you know, if they don't have the lesson, the blazing is It's not like they have it every time. Just clicking through the motions. Where was I going with this? Playing Kano can teach you to recognize when Kano does and probably does not have lethal, and that can let you be more confident in knowing when to lunge to present damage and when to take it slower. I don't really have any great advice beyond that. Like, I need to put more time on the hero myself. This Bravo was interesting because Kano makes my head hurt when I was learning him. Yeah, same. I stopped playing Kano because the mental fatigue after events is just, oh my god. All the math you do to find lethal essentially every turn is nonsense. So that was kind of a fatigued Guardian. It got very aggressive in the mid game there. It's kind of weird to see these two cards in the same list, I think. But it felt more like a typical Bravo game as we got later into the game with like the pummeled spinal. But the streak continues. How many games is that? I've lost count. These Blitz games are like 10 minutes apiece. We're like 6 games in, I think. What do I think of Uzuri in the meta in general, CC and Blitz? It's a character I want to master. It is funny you say that. So, Uzuri, which I actually got my little skirmish cold foil here. It's all sleeved up. I'm slowly starting to build the deck myself. I think Uzuri is one of the best like fundamentals decks in the games. In terms of like every turn she presents meaningful decisions about blocking, kind of plays that poker game that warriors have about is there a reaction here or not, and just makes for like a frustrating but fun play experience for your opponent. Just kind of one of the reasons I want to build her is like make armories interesting, because there's a lot of armories I take Iyslander to and my opponents just like roll their eyes and like, oh come on, more frostbites. In terms of like meta positioning, Blitz, I have no idea. I haven't seen Uzuri in Blitz. I'd love to get some games in just to see kind of what it looks like. Shakedown obviously is a pain in the butt, but that's 2 cards out of 40. In CC, I think she's got an interesting spot right now. Most people aren't practiced against her, and so they kind of lose the poker game. I'm in comp queue playing Uzuri at the moment. Maybe match you later. Hell yeah, Xavier. We'll see if we can get a game in. I think a lot of players are not fully versed in the play patterns against Uzuri, myself included. And that gives her like a special competitive edge in this meta for the time being. It's kind of like when Welcome to Wraith released and no one knew how to block Dori, and Dori was just like super busted because you could get a ton of Dawnblade counters. That will eventually be learned, is like how to block around Uzuri. I think where she settles up is like an analog to Ranger in the format. I think her matchup spread is similar to Azalea, and she's just trading some percentage points like in the Dromai and Oldhim matchups. I don't know where that puts her in the grand scheme of the meta. It's probably like in one of the top tiers, but not the full tier 0. But I have admittedly played 0 games of Constructed Uzuri, so I'm not an authority on it. I really do like 2 things right now in Flesh and Blood. I play Iyslander, and I play Azalea. And the Azalea was because of a bet. Doesn't mean that eventually when they learn about Uzuri, it will become telegraphable. And will it be bad like Dori? I don't think it is as telegraphed in Uzuri as Dori, though. Because like if you have a spike in hand, and you present a stealth card, and your opponent blocks 6, you just get to arsenal it, and that's really good. Or even, you know, Razor's Edge, any of the reactions, and even the attacks too. Like, if you have a CNC and your opponent blocks 6 on your infect, you just arsenal the CNC, and your next Tunic turn, pitch a blue to dagger plus CNC is still incredible. Whereas Dorinthia, once you learn to play around reprise and stuff, if your opponent no blocks at the appropriate time, like when you don't have go again, her cards lose a lot of value. So I think Uzuri will be fine. We would love to go first. That game went for 5 turns, the first game against Bravo. So DC'd, oh no. We almost had an opponent there. What I see in the Uzuri is a default and unchanging value of 12 per turn. Defends for 6, threatens for 4 to 6, with possible extra values per on hit. I think we need to leave the lobby now to get a new partner. Yeah, I think Uzuri is a weird hero because, like, the raw numbers math doesn't work on her. But that's because things like Spider's Bite are a bad value proposition on paper. But the fact that they make it so much harder for your opponent to block your meaningful on hits, and also just like the mind games of throw down a stealth card. Do I have a CNC? Do I have a Death Touch? Do I have a Shakedown? Do I have a Ravenous Rabble that I'm just arsenaling for next turn and I'm faking you out? Like, she has a lot more options, right? All of Dori's poker cards are essentially just like +3 and some minor on hit. Or go again if you have Glint. How's the dash matchup with this list? Very swingy. You can see a Channel Lake Frigid or a Blizzard early, and that tends to get you there. You can try to block out their pounder, or you can kind of just die. Datadol finally got some points too. Good to see. Are you serious? That's sick. Oldhim, go first. Tunic, ready to go. Who doesn't have points in... Who doesn't have LO points in Blitz at this point, then? That's most of the heroes, right, Joshua? Come on, guys. You gotta remember your Arcane Barrier. This is just like actual AB0. Hey, just started playing Fab. Is Blitz a good way for quick games to learn the game a lot faster? Yeah, Gomez. Blitz is a great way to start. I guess we'll play this game out. It's going to be over very quickly. I think Blitz is my recommended way to start playing the game. Just because, like, the games are faster, so you have a lot more of that, like, core gameplay loop back to back to back. If you're, like, a truly new player, my recommendation is you start on Felt Table. You learn to play against the AI in some Blitz games. Then you hop over to Talishar, be in the regular lobby, not the competitive lobby. Are we fusing this? Okay. Do I care? There's no Arcane Barrier. I don't care. And just like say in the game title, I'm a new player. Nice. And people tend to be very helpful with those games to help you, like, in terms of being very forgiving with takebacks and stuff as you're learning, you know, how to operate your hero. I think after you get comfortable with the game, I would graduate to CC as fast as possible. It's my preferred way to play the game. I think it's most people's preferred way to play the game. And there's a lot more depth in CC, I'm gonna argue there's a lot more nuance because like the games do go longer, but you can pick up all the fundamentals in Blitz and you get like that kind of gratification of winning the game much more quickly just because the games are like literally shorter. Hell yeah, Leonardo. I'm right there with you. I actually want to give the hero a serious shake after the PT. It's just, who knows? Maybe it's a psyop. Maybe I'm practicing Uzuri right now. The PT is stressing me out, man. Azalea gonna get her points too, I hope, in CC. Yeah, I was really trying to go to these AP0 matches are so whatever. I was really wanting to go to the Battle Hardened in Richmond this weekend. Just because, like, how can you not be one of those people to try to win Azalea's first Living Legend points? But it's like a 6-hour drive one way, and the EV on Battle Hardens is just so low, right? So I feel like the time I spent traveling to and from the event to play like 6-7 rounds of CC, I might as well just practice for the Pro Tour in 3 weeks. And if someone wins Azalea's first LO points, so be it. Yeah, I get a lot more games in, and that's always a good thing. Yeah, it lets you. We just kill in response. God, you never see value like that in Wizard. Let this be a lesson, people. Bring Arcane Barrier against Wizard, because they're just non-games if you don't. That was a really good example, though, of like the core gameplay loop in that game, right? We just... Typically it goes like a turn or two longer because our opponent pitches some to Arcane Barrier, but we had a good combo turn at the end there with the red scolding. Valda Bright Axe. Interesting. We'll throw Tunic. Why not? What does this hero do again? I haven't played against a Valda in so long. Your opponent draws a card during an action phase, create a seismic surge, start your turn. If you control 3 or more cards you win with Crush, can dominate. I don't think she can do any setup. So I think we want to go second. Hands. Whoa. Spicy shit. Brought AB3. Good. That's pretty cool. So she gets a seismic. Oh. Maybe I was wrong to let her go first. This is good to learn. This is fascinating because we can kind of just sculpt our starting hand, right? What cards we pitch in? Choke Slam, Stamp Authority, Macho Grande Red. Starts at 21. This might be a real deck. This might be like a scary game. If Levi isn't the first person to win Azalea Living Legend points, it's going to be such a feels bad. That guy is so devoted and so, like, inarguably good at the hero. I can't imagine someone more deserving to win their hero Living Legend points than Levi. This sleeps 1 at least. Probably takes a card. Has 3 seismics, so we're getting dominated next turn no matter what. Not super. Oh. Oh. Red flooded. Love to see it. Wow, really red flooded. Love to see it. We get to respond to the seismics. Rip a card. Do you have a frostbite? At the very least, this messes with like Crown of Dominion if there was a cash-in that was going to be played. Ooh, just ended the turn. Love to see it. Looks like we can use... It's like if we pitch the moon here, we're liable to leak 1 to 0. We also can just play it on our turn. So I'm more inclined to do that, where it like taxes real cards from hand. It's weird, we're so far into this game and both heroes are above 18 or 17. Since I stopped playing seriously, had a lot of fun with CC, Ultra Boomer, Arcane Elsa, 9D reacts, 17 draw plus opt. Did you try or see something like that seriously? I've seen like the 3 Sync Below, 3 Fate Foreseen, 6 Unmovable lists. What is this 17 draw plus opt, Sergey? I have not seen that yet. They're throwing 9. It's not dominated. The on hit is Sync Our Arsenal, which we're going to play that anyways. I would love to fish for a red. But Sergey, that list sounds right up my alley. Aw, big sad. We didn't get there. So... obviously, before the crush, we want to actually play this. Looks like our turn is going to be play Aether Hail, pitching Ice Bolt, which is unideal. Ooh, they're taking the damage. And then we get to, because Tink will be up, we get to Arsenal the Scolding and play it for 7 off of 1 blue pitch, which is always sick. We're now both at 11. I feel very good about our positioning in this game. Maybe that's the cash-in that they're stashing for the gold. I don't know what's happening now that they're just deciding to take a bunch of this damage. Seems like a good way to throw. Don't tell me they're red flooded again. Okay. We're getting pummeled, it sounds like. So we can put 1 3-block in front of this. The most this is ever for is 13. We take 10, we go to 1. We discard Blizzard, and we're A-okay. Let's see if they have the pummel. They don't. Nice. They got a bunch of cards in hand. How do I feel about that? It feels like presenting 7 is not useful. So we're just going to sandbag for a turn, because striding in this blue Ice Bolt is not the worst thing in the world. This is going to put them to 6 guaranteed. We probably could have... No, we weren't lunging for lethal last turn. We should present 12 this turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They die? 8. Yeah, they're dead. Unless they have like Oasis. Oasis is they're out here. Oh, they're super dead. Not just dead. Super dead. It's an important, very technical wizard term. Cold Snap, Polar Blast, This Round's on Me, Sink Below, Fate Foreseen, Eye of Ophidia, very fast to find hexes and CLF against Azalea. Good Azaleas still crushed a couple of times. Nourishing off Codex is fun. That list sounds sick. I mean, next thing you're gonna say is you're playing the Opt Orb. What's that, like Seepstone or something? Pay 3 resources, Opt 1, make a ponder. I want that card to work so bad, but I have not seen it work yet. One day we get to play the wizard weapon that is not Waning Moon or Crucible. How are we doing on time? Oh my god, so many games, and it's like been an hour 15. This is awesome. Maybe there's something to this Blitz format. It's pretty nice to win all these games for sure. Yeah, I figured you were gonna say waning. It just seems almost objectively correct, right? Which is a bummer, but it's just so efficient. There's a reason it's like in every competitively viable wizard deck in CC and Blitz right now. I look at Waning Moon, and then I look at Aether Conduit, and I'm like, what were they thinking? Y'all remember Aether Conduit? Uh-oh, we got an opponent. Ira, I've heard that this matchup can get pretty scary. So let's see what the fuss is about. I don't have any Iras locally. Haven't seen any on Talishar, so I haven't played against one in quite a while. AB3, a single Kodachi, Mask Momentum. This is a hell of a start. How is Iyslander versus Chain? Just waiting for ways to buff cracking damage. Absolutely, Sergey. We're pretty dang good versus Chain. Chain can't really afford to pitch to Arcane Barrier and still have a turn. And that's good news for us. We're going to try to play this Channel 8 Frigid in our action phase if we can. Interesting, they chose to pay to keep Go again. What's coming after this? They have to forego Arsenal if they want to. Or maybe they were just pitching to cycle the D-React, which makes sense. But we just kill Chain before he can get set up with his Shackle Engine. I think turn 2 to 3 kills against Chain are very consistent. And then we have Scour as kind of like a safety valve in case he gets to survive those first few turns. Interesting. Actually, we might just we might Arsenal this channel and play it off a Spellfire Cloak next turn. If we do, our turn looks like Scalding for 4, Moon for 2. Seems fine. Especially if we're going to be slowing down our opponent next turn. Oh, I should turn Metacarpus off. Oh, I don't want to end the turn. They gave us a blue. Yeah, of course, Jose. They did give us another card. Oh, yeah. So they're actually not going to have a turn next turn. This hand isn't great. I would love to Providence this. Huh? This smells like... Oh, this smells like a misplay. There we go. Alright, that makes sense if they were trying to pitch rushing. I want to sink this Emeritus Scolding. Ooh, spicy. Thinking. Their only armor is Master Momentum, which they're not going to give us. So, yeah, we play this channel. We can block with Quickening if they present a real attack still on this turn. Or we can Arsenal it on our next turn. Probably not using Spellfire Cloak for Moon here. Yep, we're not. They have AB3. Would you try to go second or first? That's a tough one. I think I want to go first just so that they don't get that free shackle turn 0. We're just gonna throw Nourish in here, Arsenal red, have a lot of cards to block with. We've pitched Ice, so Channel Lake lives. This turn cycle seems very good for us. Oh my god, we're getting Master Momentum? That's huge. Oh, we're getting Flick-Flacked is what we're getting. Yep. I'm still, if they're giving me Master, I'm happy. Especially with Channel Lake up. Channel that card, Arsenal that. We're set up for a good turn cycle this turn. But yeah, I think we're going first against Chain just so they don't get the free shackle. Doesn't super matter. They're still at 19. So we don't want this Hail in hand. Unfortunately, we don't have 2 ice cards, so Channel dies. That's actually a real bummer. Because we had the 5-card hand and everything, but we don't get to keep it. So close. This is a funky Ira list. A lot of D-reacts. Is this the best Blitz deck at the moment? I think it is the best performance to time invested ratio Blitz deck at the moment, Harley. I think if you have unlimited time in the world, learning Kano is the best Blitz deck. But this deck is very good and it is relatively simple to play, which makes it very attractive, at least for me, and for a lot of other people, I think, too. Huh. So we didn't draw a red that does anything. We're not very deep into this game. There's an argument to just leave the Quickening in Arsenal. I don't really want to take 4 here. If they have a blue, we still push 2. They're lower life than us. I think we can afford to waste a card in this turn cycle, and it's just kind of fine. We have nothing to do on our turn then, though. It's fine. What's the worst thing that could happen? They're out of Master Momentum, which is, like, huge. It makes blocking so much simpler. I didn't say this deck was easy, Jose. I said it was relatively, so like it's relatively easy as far as wizards go. It is a much, it's much simpler than Kano. And then for how good the deck does in the meta, it takes relatively little time investment. Because like learning something like Prism or Oldhim from scratch, I think is a pretty significant time investment as well. Just not really interested in blocking with this hand. This hand's gas. Yeah, much easier to learn than Kano is. I agree, Joshua. They're also pitching reds to attack. We're gonna let them continue to pitch reds to attack, and then sneak in a cheeky ice bolt at the end of this turn. Thinking about it. Oh, I had the opportunity to play the combo card. That's pretty funny. I don't care about Command and Conquer. It actually does nothing to me because I don't have an arsenal and I don't have D-Reacts in my deck. They chose to take 2. They pitched another Fate Foreseen. We're gonna cash in. Sure, I'll block with Spellfire Cloak. What I was intending to do was destroy it so I could play Waning Moon this turn. There we go. Put him to 10. We get to throw a Swell Tidings, Arsenal Scalding Rain, be set up for the kill. This Ira deck seems like it would be very good against decks that are not wizards. I've seen a lot of D-Reacts that are also just resource cards, which is like fine against wizards. You don't really want to be pitching yellows. I think it's incomparable almost. A simple yet rather effective way to play this list, in my opinion, is just we only block Herald of Addition or have spare cards in full send arsenal. Incomparable to Kano? Yeah. I mean, like, this list is also significantly easier than, like, CC Iyslander. But that's not to say that, like, this list is pure brain dead. That said, our opponent is probably dead this turn. Passing with 2 cards. How much damage we got? 5, 8, 11. Not enough to kill yet. That's okay. Kind of doubt they have 2 blues here. They don't. We'd prefer to Arsenal Meredith for the kill. Scolding presents a very awkward 2+, the Blue Quickening presents a very awkward 2+2 here. And so that's why we're playing it like, I mean, obviously we're playing the Scolding. Emeritus, the Quickening, getting my cards mixed up. Emeritus also does 2, but we don't get to Moon on the same turn. Oh, sorry. And that's game. Let's not even drag it out. Did all our opponents bring D-Reacts? I think we have seen D-Reacts from most of our opponents, yes. Riptide. This is like a Cheerios aggro deck in Blitz, right? That's what I've heard. I don't see a reason to not play default. Poor Riptide. AB3? Seems like a good start. Seems like a very good start. Not in love with that hand. Oh. Buff power. So what's ideal here? We Providence, bottom of red, draw blue, doesn't really do us anything. What does do something here though is blocking 3, taking 4. Taking 4 is fine. We have to present 7 arcane on our turn and keep Channel 8 Frigid. Worth 4 damage for sure. Is that a cash-in without Crown of Dominion? What is going on with these deck lists tonight? Man, people are brewing funky stuff. We drew the perfect hand. I don't think they realized that I channel. We don't have a way to make a frostbite this turn. We're going to let our opponent play out hand as much as they want. Before we present any damage. Alright, well, it's not GG yet, right? 5, 8, 11. It's not GG yet. We're going to get very close, though. Channel 8 Frigid trying to single-handedly winning this game. This is unfortunate. I would love for you to put a -1 counter on my Crown of Providence. Wasn't it GG since your reveal? I'll be real, Sergey. This is my first Riptide game. Maybe he runs Crown normally, but against Wizard, you went to AB. That kind of makes sense, Joshua. There's a world where we Arsenal Ice Bolt here, because we went to kill next turn. And it's this world. Okay, well, our opponent was trying to just over the game. No point going to AB3 if you don't have resources to support it, though. Thank you, Ethnic Smoke. That is something that I think is a big trap for players that see Wizard at the top of the meta, and they're like, well, I'll just play AB3. If you have 5 blues in your deck, or 10 blues in your deck, I'm talking more from a classic constructed perspective. Like, it's just not worth it. It's literally not worth the deck slot, because the number of times you actually get to abuse that full AB3 are just statistically too low for it to be significant. And I think at the very high levels, you'll see that kind of like translated into practice. Like, go back and look at some FI deck lists from last year's World Championship. A lot of the FI lists are running AB1 to 2 because they know that they don't have the spare resources for Arcane Barrier, even if they're going to be playing against a bunch of Icelanders. Smoke is a very smart man, yes. One of the original OG Icelanders. Gotta give props to you for sure. Fi. All right, well, this feels awkward because I think this is officially one of the matchups that Cornet Peak is in the side for, but also, like, I think we're just as fast as Fi. So I kind of just want Providence to fix the hand. We'll see how it goes. Back in the day when we all ran Sigil of Permafrost. Those were, you're not kidding, those were the good old days. I miss that card. It's not good, but I miss that card. I will say, I believe you were the one that taught me about how good Command and Conquer was in Iyslander, and how it's basically 3 more copies of Aether Icebane. That was such a great revelation turning point. The Starvo song was so good. Yeah. We don't talk about Starvo. When they kept playing that sound bit during the calling, it cracked me up so much. What's the mode here? Draw a card. Okay. Alright, so they get some free damage, but they're not going to have a turn after this. Get to stop the gross snatch follow-up, I'm sure. I don't like leaking 2 there, though. That's pretty unfortunate. Oh, what is this hand? Oh my god. Well, remember what I said about this is the matchup we played Coronet Peak for? I'm about to regret not presenting Coronet Peak, as it turns out. This is a funky fight to present Kodachi, though. Like, Emberblade is half the thing, half the reason you play Fi, right? Smoked is a great caster and also very knowledgeable. I mean, this chat speaks the truth. Chat speaks the truth, Smoke. Shields down, huh? Take 7, go to 9, present 7, put them to 14, have a channel lake out. Play Scolding on our turn, pitch Frosting for 4, Arsenal Polar Blast. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. They presented Tunic. What's going on? I will for sure be tuning into Battlehard in Richmond. I'm so sad that I'm not making it out there, but the coverage will be primo. Oh, we get Smoke and Sam, the fantastic duo. This is a very aggressive Spellfire Cloak, and I acknowledge that. It's just that it's guaranteed to be 3 damage, and that's probably worth it. I learned a lot from you and him, plus that Michael Hamilton guy who gonna single-handedly LL by himself. Not single-handedly. Some of us have earned Iyslander Living Legend points for CC. They're just like 1% of the points that Michael has earned. So yeah, basically single-handedly. Love our position in this game, by the way. Alright, this is a Providence hand. Actually, like, we're going to cycle with Polar Blast first. Modes. How are we doing on time? Go again. Fascinating. This is what we want to arsenal, or potentially this. We're gonna pitch bite. Hey, we drew a red. We get to block with a card from this hand. That's sick. Oh, yeah, that makes sense for why you would choose Joe again. Uh-huh. Well, remember when I said we want to block with a card from this hand? We're going to do that. Crown basically stopping like 4 to 5 value there on the block. I know we don't get to fix the hand, but it's just the math is worth it. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel good to swing Moon into 2 floating resources, but we already have our own resources floating. Nope, that's not how Tunic and Channel 8 Frigid works. Nope. Well, we know it's in our opponent's arsenal. We have to make a decision here if we're arsenaling Ice Bolt or Quickening. Spellfire Cloak is down, so I believe I went to Arsenal Quickening, just because it's a lot easier to play if we end up not killing next turn. It's definitely close, though. This Fi really likes pitching to Arcane Barrier. Probably more than he should. This hand's not great. Is belittle legal in Blitz? I believe so, yes. I'm pretty sure. It would be mind-boggling if it was banned and the deck was playing Minnowism. Yeah, I don't see any reason to block this. Probably interested in blocking the next turn, the next card. Very interested in blocking a Rising Resentment. Hold on. If this hits, they banish a card from hand. Are they dead? 4, 7, 10? No, not quite. Big bummer. So we have to block them this turn. Alright, well, we just give them the worst card in our hand. The Rising Resentment text is relevant there, right? It's... Uh-huh. Ending the turn. What? I don't know if that's a misclick or not really incentivized to play anything. We want them to not get much more value out of that Spreading Flames. So this is about as below rate as turn cycles can get. Blue Volted Bolt plus Moon. But when we're left with the surplus of cards, we make do. Okay, so here's a good wizard lesson. These cards are worth way more than 3 damage when you combine all of them. So don't pitch to Arcane Barrier here. Just go to 6. Looks like a GG to me. Our opponent, I think, is way too afraid of dying with how they're pitching to, or passing to end the turn. Or they're just like actively off the game, I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, if they want to just take all that damage, I'm not going to Storm Strider. Now I will. That was a weird little cat and mouse game they tried to play with us. I'm not sure what the intention was. Let's answer your question, Sergey. Looks like it is not. So Belittle is legal in Blitz. I don't know if that was their intention, was to, you know, do the whole Art of War Belittle minnowism fight thing. Seems a little slow, but I don't know. I feel like if you're playing aggro in Blitz, you're better off just playing Chain. And if you insist on Ninja, like, Ira's right there. She does everything you could want. Two card 8, where it's a Kodachi plus a command and conquer for 7. Like, the value is insane. Probably get one more game in and then call it a night. Don't want to go too long. Don't want to break the streak while we're up so hot. But it's been a dry night in terms of Arcane. We've played 0 Wizard Mirrors, which is interesting. You're right. I didn't face any meta decks, which is strange. It a bit of a soft night. It's okay. This was a good like little easy teaser warm up for the weekend. My locals are no slouch, so I will definitely have to work hard if I want to bring home another Cold Foil Azalea. It's just I'm all about getting on the Iyslander Roll of Honor. That's really my goal, because I'm on for adult. I think I'm not actually on her young honor roll yet. I can't remember winning any skirmishes off the top of my head. Wasn't really taking like Blitz skirmish seriously in the past, and then it's like, oh my god, Iysander's about to LL. I ought to like actually try for at least one season. Hey, what's up, Alex? Is that an emote in my chat? What? I didn't know that was a thing. Benji to close out the night? Yeah, that seems fine. This is one of those matchups we have actual sideboard armor for. So we play Ironhide Gauntlet. Oh, good luck and have fun, Benji. We don't want them to have free damage. We play Ironhide Gauntlet for their second Spring Tidings, right? Crown of Providence stops the first one. Ironhide stops the second one. Don't have anything super exciting to do here. Does have the AB3. Fest is interesting. AB3, huh? So we can go over Arsenal Winner's Bite. It's not the worst. Starts them at 15. Cycles our hand. What is that card? So this is a funky Benji list, you're telling me. This hand's fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. This is a bit awkward for a Winter's Bite, unless they're choosing Go again. Nope, they're choosing 7. So we'd rather save the bite for our turn at that point? They can't Tide Flipper this. This is just the end of the turn unless they Razor it. Yeah, Bite does nothing here. We went to Arsenal Scalding Rain. I think we're just eating 7. I'm not in love with it, but... we can at least play the Bite for some value on our turn, because it'll tax a resource, and then we present arcane damage. And so Benji, which has a lot of yellows, then has 1 less resource to stop any damage we present at that point. We'll throw 6. It's not the most, but it's enough to be a threat. Okay, well, feel pretty good going into the turn cycle. If they give up 2 blues, it means they probably can't stop any significant damage on this turn. They're pitching a red. What's up with this cat Benji? I don't know. This hand does the thing, so we're gonna do the thing. And we want to, so normally we want to wait until the end of the turn, right? We're going to go now because it asks our opponent the question like, hey, how badly do you want that arsenal? Katsu without the Su. Yeah, this is... I don't know. I can't think of a good pun. There's no tiger in Benji. This is Bengal. Bengal tiger, maybe? Just throw 5. 2 of it leaks. Opponent's at 7. Game's basically over. Here we go. Here's the big turn, I think. Uh-huh. We're just gonna cycle this CLF, try to draw a red. Importantly, we're not cycling the Blizzard because we want that as a safety valve in case something goes very wrong this turn. That's funny, that is the same amount as Scolding. Show me the Razor Reflex. Ancestral also works. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 damage prevention. Seems like a GG to me. And that's another one for the books. I'm actually going to decline the quick rematch because I think we're going to wrap up the stream there. Cool. Well, thank you for stopping by, everybody. Hopefully that was a it's a very apt game over emote, Alex. Not the most competitively minded deck lists from our opponents tonight. Some very interesting play choices. A lot of more AB0 than I expected, but it's Talishar. You take what you can get. Yeah, list is just actually busted in half. Hopefully this like at least convinced you a little bit to take this to your locals and also steamroll your opponents. I definitely will be reporting back next week to let you know how my skirmishes went. But that's thanks for hanging out, guys. I will catch y'all next time. See ya.